Why I, Daniel Kwak, personally don't like investing in stocks. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Daniel Kwak, one half of the Kwak brothers, and in this video we're going to be talking about why I personally don't like investing in stocks and instead would rather invest it in real estate. So before we go ahead and talk about the topic, guys, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, and also click on that notification bell. It would really help us out in terms of the algorithm of making sure that this free information goes out to as many people as they possibly can. And plus, it would help me, with my self-esteem. No big deal. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and talk about why I personally don't like investing in stocks. Now, I don't have, any negativity towards stock. I think they have their, time and place in society and in the market. And I am by no means bashing stockbrokers or financial advisors. But I think I can speak for all of us, when I say that ever since I was a little kid, as soon as the word investment, investing, or investor came to mind, the first thing that came was stocks, right? That was the first thing that popped in my mind. Stocks, and then like bonds and mutual funds and, different things that I didn't understand at the time when I was a kid. But I'm sure you guys can say the same thing. And, why is that? Why is that? And so this video, I'm going to tell you guys 4 specific reasons why I personally don't invest in stocks and instead invested in real estate. So let's go ahead and start. So reason number 1. And, this may arguably be the number 1 reason as to why you guys may be investing in real estate over stocks. And it might be the number 1 reason as to what makes you think, what makes you start this thought process of, my reasons as to why I don't invest in stocks. So reason number 1, right, without further ado, is the concept of leverage. Really simple. So let's go ahead and break this down into an example here. So let's say that your grandpa gives you $100,000, right? Really rich grandpa. That's a scenario that, I'm sure every single one of us would enjoy. So you get $100,000 from your grandpa, let's say for your birthday, right? $100,000. Now, if you invest that $100,000 into stocks, you're going to get a return of $100,000, right? You're going to get a return from that $100,000, right? The asset, in terms of what you bought, the shares that you bought of a company that you bought, is worth $100,000. Now, let's flip the script here. Let's put the shoe on the other foot, as so they say. If you invested $100,000 into real estate, you get to take advantage of leverage. Now, what do I mean by that? That means you get to acquire a real estate investing asset that cash flows, that grows in appreciation and value, right? You're able to acquire that asset leveraged. So let's say that we use 20% down. So 9 times out of 10, a bank is going to ask you for 20% down. Or if you're doing owner financing, the owner might ask you for 20% down. So $100,000 times 5, that's $500,000. That means you're able to make a return on an asset that's worth $500,000, also known as 5 times more than the cash you started out with. Because you see, if you're investing it in stocks, well, you're getting a return from something that's worth $100,000. But if you're investing it in real estate, you can leverage that, and you could use that $100,000 to acquire an asset that's worth $500,000, and you're getting a return from something that's worth 5 times more. Now, if you're talking about like owner financing and different things like that, well, you may only put 10% down or potentially even no money down, to where your return at that point would technically be infinite. So reason number 1, it's leverage. You're able to take advantage and what others may say, more bang for your buck. So really good example with the $100,000. Reason number 2, right? It's control. So let me ask you guys a few questions. If you invested, right, and let's use the previous example of $100,000. If you invested $100,000 in stocks, what are you really doing? You're buying $100,000 worth of shares in a company. Now, here are the questions that I have for you. First question being, if you invest all that money, right, in this case, your grandpa's hard-earned money, do you have any say, influence, or any decision-making power in what happens in that company? Chances are the answer is no, you don't. You're not in that boardroom. You're not in that building. You're not in that office. And even if you were, you're not the one making the decisions. So yes, you would be a shareholder, but you in no way, shape, or form have any power to make any decision, any real decisions for that matter, in that company, right? That company has a CEO, they have a COO, they have a CFO. they have a chairman of the board, right? They're the ones that make the decisions. And at the end of the day, do they tell you every single little thing? Probably not, right? Matter of fact, we see scandal after scandal and article after article about how, people are misleading the shareholders, how there's lying going on, there's corruption. And I think it's safe to say that that happens quite often, especially in like Wall Street or business in general. Now, control. Do you have it in real estate? Yes, you do. You have control over how a deal is going to be able to go. So if you're doing like a fix and flip, or you're doing like a buy and hold, you're acquiring an apartment complex, you get to choose who the property manager is. You get to choose which tenant goes in that's going to be paying you rent. You get to choose the maintenance guy, the painter, the gardener, right? There's a lot of things that you can choose. You overall have the control over your asset, over your investment, which in my opinion is the way that it should be. So let's talk about the third reason. The third reason is the freedom. Now, what do I mean by freedom? And what is the difference between the freedom and my previous example of control? Well, the freedom is that you in real estate investing have the freedom to choose the exit strategy in terms of how that money gets used. So it completely depends, because let's be real, guys, every single one of us may be in a different place financially. We might be more short-term focused because that's what our goals are right now. We may be more long-term focused. I don't know. But the beauty in real estate investing in compared to stocks is you have the freedom to be able to, adjust and relate to your personal finances. So let's say you're in a position where you need money today. You need cash right now. Well, here's what you can do. You can wholesale, you can fix and flip, you could, short. There's a lot of things that you can do in the world of real estate investing to pretty much improve your personal finances by getting more cash today. Let's say you're on the other side of the spectrum. You're more long-term focused. You're more of a passive investor. Well, here's what you can do. You can do single-family rentals. You can do multifamily. You can even buy notes, right? You can purchase notes that yield a return every single year if you want to be more passive. But the overall point is that you have the freedom to be able to choose that. Absolutely. Let's talk about the last and final reason, and definitely last but not least, reason number 4. And this reason is a little bit more personal to me, right? So you see, guys, 5-6 years ago, I was in a very different place financially. I actually had negative dollars in my bank account, had a couple maxed out credit cards. And I'm thinking to myself here, as I'm sitting speaking to you guys in this video, if I chose to invest in stocks instead of real estate, it would have taken me so much longer and so much harder to get to where I am today financially. Because, well, if I want to invest in stocks, well, guess what I have to have? I got to have the money to be able to do that, right? But in real estate, what I can do, and what I did, is I learned how to buy properties no money down. And I actually own a couple of apartment buildings and a couple of properties actually that I paid and acquired with no money down. And I acquired them, and I was able to take advantage of the cash flow and also the paying down of the principal, building my personal wealth, and also the tax benefits and all the wonderful things that, investing in real estate will bring you. I got to take advantage of that, 5-6 years ago when I didn't have any money. And I truly believe, guys, that the statement, the more you learn, the more you earn, applies so much more to real estate investing than stocks. And because I invested in real estate and I make the decision to invest in real estate, I am where I am today, to where I'm able to buy properties with no money down. Guys, if you went to a bank or you went into an investment firm or a hedge fund and you started talking about buying stocks no money down, you're going to get laughed at, right? They're going to say, hey, you got to have money to invest in stocks, dummy, right? But if you did it in real estate and you said, hey, I want to learn how to buy properties no money down, nobody would laugh at you. If anything, a lot of people would agree with you and join you in asking the right experts that question. Speaking of which, guys, if you want to learn how to buy properties no money down, it's a concept that I learned called owner financing. There's links in the description below where I actually created with my brother a 3-hour complimentary course on how to do just that, how to buy properties no money down, no credit checks, not having to utilize a bank. So again, guys, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on that notification bell. We have real estate investing content along with other content related to finance, entrepreneurship, and personal development on our channel all the time. So I hope this video, guys, was helpful to you. And guys, again, by no means am I bashing the world of stocks or stockbrokers or financial advisors. Guys, I think they have their place in the world of investing. My goal with this video today was to challenge you and allow you to expand your mind a little bit more, because the more options you have, the more vehicles you have to expand your wealth and overall have a better financial health. So again, guys, if you disagree with me or you agree with me and you want to add on more reasons on top of what I said today, comment down below, guys. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want this to be a two-way conversation where you and I can hear one another's thoughts on investing, finances, and different investment vehicles. So again, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click on that notification bell, and until next time, until the next video, guys, I'll see you later. Ciao.